what is the impact on companies when something like this happens, right? There is an impact. This is up in the news, right? There's an impact on their brand image, right? So there's a brand value. There's just intangible value actually, right? What about when they lose customer information? Customers sue them, right? So companies get sued for millions of dollars, right? What happens? Do you want to go back to a bank that just lost your credit card and debit card information? Do you want to go back to them? Do you want to bank with them? So there's a loss, right? So there is cleaning up all that incident, finding out who did it, paying for all the court cases, all those things, that's all incident cost, right? So there are multiple areas where companies get impacted. They may need to shut down their operations, for example, right? Banking operations could get shut down because the regulator says shut it down because your systems are not secure enough. You may have to shut down. That's loss of revenue straight, right? So all of these things have to be considered. So these are some of the attacks that have happened. We just introduced ourselves, so can you just introduce yourself, just what your name is? And,
my name is George.
And you work in IT, your interests in security?
Actually, I'm a teacher.
Okay. Okay, great. All right. IT?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, impact in 2011, Citibank, right, they lost a lot of data. Right, let me put it that way. Right, credit card information, debit card information. Right, so 360,000 credit card information is what they lost. Right, this was in May 2011. Google, there was a phishing attack, followed by email compromise, spoofed Gmail site, harvesting of Gmail usernames and passwords. PBS is Public Broadcasting Services, Canada. The system was hacked, system vulnerability exploited. Right, somebody defaced pbs.org. The US Senate, phishing attack, right? Internal files from Senate, FBI affiliate, MasterCard, Visa, PayPal, the CIA itself, right? So there are, I could go on. There has been, over the last 2-3 months, there have been enough hack attacks that the whole security area has come to the attention of, senior management. Now they are aware of it, right? This slide, actually, well, I put it together, but I actually presented this to our board of directors, right? So this is straight from them. So they want to know what is happening, right? What is it, right? And are we protected? There's a bunch of other stuff which I removed, confidential, right? About what we are doing to protect ourselves from things like these, right? This was, I don't know if you heard about this. This was a big news maybe a couple of weeks back. Operation Shady Rat, remote access tool. 72 organizations were compromised because of this attack. It was sustained over a 5-year period. This was uncovered by McAfee, and McAfee, of course, are our partners, so we got details on it. In Canada, 2 Canadian government agencies, the Department of Finance and the Treasury Board, were infiltrated for a sustained period of time. Right, and the dates are here. Department of Finance in 2009, Treasury Board in 2010. They stole lots of information, right? And of course, you can see across the sectors, who governments have been infiltrated, right? Health sector, so you have military. So all of those areas have been infiltrated, right? So obviously there is a challenge, there is a gap, right, in the market, right, in terms of, because all these attacks are getting through, right? You are putting in technology, so there is a gap in terms of technology, there is a gap in terms of process, there is a gap in terms of people, right? The strength and weakness of any system is the people, correct? Starts with the people, the knowledge of the people, right? Whether you have the right qualities, the right quantity of people in the system, right? This I just got today, like I just logged into Workapolis, hey, you have to constantly look for a job, correct? That's part and parcel of being an IT professional, right? You have to constantly keep yourself updated. That's part and parcel of being an IT professional in today's world. So of course, I do have a Workapolis account, right? I log in, I take a look at what is available today. This is just today's, right? You look at the dates, right? This is just today. security analyst, information security, senior information security, right? This is just from Workapolis, right? And I know in general that the contract rate out there, right, because we do hire contractors, it's $80 to $100 per hour, right, for a intermediate level security analyst. Salaries, if you're a full-timer, is around 70 to 75. This is starting salary, right? Depends on the organization again, depends on the person too, but I believe this is it. And of course, so what's the landscape, right? What's the certification landscape like, right? So if you look at it, broadly, you may differ with me, right, in terms of my interpretation of all these certifications that are out there in the market, right? You have, I would call these process-oriented certifications, technology-oriented certifications, right? And I've kind of put together some security and IT-related stuff, right, certifications. So you see process-oriented CISA, so you're interested in CISA, which is more process-oriented. You have ITIL, which is again IT Infrastructure Library, which is more process-oriented. You have CBCP, which is Business Continuity Planning, which is more process-oriented. IT, this is all IT, but they are more, these areas are more process-oriented. CRISC, CSAM, ISO 27001, PMP, the Project Management Professional, right? That's again, it's not got nothing to do with technology as such. It's about managing and delivering projects, right? It's about process. If you look at the technology stuff, right, and I put CISSP here, right? Because I think CISSP, and I have CISSP here, I have CISSP here, because I think CISSP covers both of those. It kind of spans across both areas. Why? Because security is process and technology. It's both. CISA too, I'm not denying that, right? But CISA is predominantly process-oriented, right? It's predominantly process-oriented compared to CISSP. If you take CEH, which is Certified Ethical Hacker, CPT, which is Penetration Testing, SANS, the whole GSEC security certification, all of these certifications, the ISSAP, which is Architecture Certification, CISSP concentration, what after CISSP, right? So these are other certifications. CSSLP, which is Secure Coding, someone who's interested in secure code development, CSSLP, right? This is about, but so these are more technology-oriented certifications. Now, what do you do in all this, right? So you have a plethora of certifications in the market. What do you do, right? And do you want to do all these? You will spend a lifetime, and there will be new vendors coming out providing new certifications. What are you going to do, right? So obviously you can't, this is like chasing your own tail, right? You will never get it, right? So what you have to do is, either you have to go to Harvard and get an MBA, in which case you're good for the next 20, 30 years until you retire. Or you have to look at certifications, for example, in information security, which has some value. Like CISA is a heavy one, is a strong one, right? Things that people are generally aware of, right? CISSP is another one. It's pretty strong, right? It's pretty heavy. So you can do that, right? And you can be certain that the investment that you've made in terms of your time, your efforts, right? The money that you've spent on all this, right? All of that has some payback, right? If you do go out and do a lot of other certifications, doesn't really make sense, right? So industry recognized certifications, right? That's what I mean. So CISSP, right? Specifically, why? Okay. So you saw the previous slide. I had one which I just went through the job site, right? Workapolis. You have all those requirements, right? So this is the one from CIBC, right? I'm not sure if you guys can see it. This is from CIBC. So same thing, right? I just clicked on it, right? So they are written up, they want an information security analyst, right, blah, blah, blah. And you see here, they are asking specifically for CISSP. They're saying, we want CISSP, right? They're asking specifically. They didn't ask for CISA, but that's because they're not looking for an auditor. They're looking for somebody who's more technical, right? Who combines more technology experience and, more technical knowledge from, in terms of securing the systems. If you were an auditor, yes. If that was for a senior auditor or something, IT auditor, yes, that would be a CISA. Agreed. Right? So look at this. CISSP designation, 1 year. That's it. Right? I'm not saying that just because you have 1 year. See, this gets you into the door. At least in the door, right? You have a foothold in the door. If you don't have a CISSP, they will not even look at your CV. Simple. I won't look at your CV. Right? This is from Sun Life, again from the same Workapolis side. Right? There you go. Right? They have a bunch of other certifications that they've asked for, CCNP, CC, Cisco certifications.